Hello everyone, Rand here, and in today's video on Farming Simulator 22, we're going to be doing some more testing on the weeders here. So I have a freshly planted field of canola right in front of us here, planted it with a no-till planter after being harvested. So we harvested the field, and then we went right into planting. So planted with a no-till planter. I want to emphasize that one. So we should have like the maximum, to my understanding, possible number of weeds in the field here. So harvested, straight up planted with no-till, and we're going to test out whether if we weed right after planting that one, we can get rid of all the weeds with a weeder or not. Or do we still end up with some weeds? So for those of you who have seen my previous video on weeders, if you plant your field and then you skip to the next day and you have weeds, everyone, the normal or most of the normal weeders in the game will only remove the weeds down to about 50%. Only remove 25% of the weeds. From what I've seen, I'm going to end up with about 75% weeds, and it'll remove 25 down to 50. Now, if you use the one and only other weeder in the game, I want this particular style, and I'll show this in the shop here in a minute, just so you folks know which weeder we're talking about here. So under weeders, all the other weeders with the exception of this one right here, the Chop Star 590 plus Row Guard, all the other weeders only remove 25% of the weeds down to 50. Now, interestingly enough, if you have 50% weeds in the field, it'll remove it down to 0. Don't ask me how that works. But anyway, this one, will remove all 75% of the weeds. So I suspect this one is going to remove all the weeds no matter what. This one I'm kind of curious to see. So again, everyone, freshly planted field. We're going to make just 2 passes down the field here. Now, I suppose it would help if I would fold it out, right? Let's see. Do I have any sort of GPS here? I do. Perfect. Makes it a little bit easier for testing here. Again, just going to make 2 passes, everyone. And then we'll kind of compare to the center of the field here to see what we end up with. Very curious, I want to see if we can actually remove all the weeds here at this point or not. Because again, if we waited until the next day here, it will not remove all the weeds. It won't even come close to removing all the weeds. And reminder too, again, by the way, when it comes to the weeders do specifically state they will only remove weeds in the first growth stage, so the younger, smaller weeds. If you were to say skip another day after planting, so 2 days after planting that one, you would probably really be screwed when it comes to trying to remove weeds with a weeder. Then you're going to have to use herbicide. Herbicide, to my knowledge, by the way, is supposed to remove all the weeds, all of them, all the time. So it shouldn't matter when. However, per the game, everyone, that comes at a slight cost to yield. At least that's what it says. Not sure what that cost to the yield is, everyone. Not aware that it defines anywhere what percentage loss that is, but apparently there's a loss. Okay, so go ahead and make 2 passes. That's what it is, yes. We're going to make 2 passes with this one here as well. And by the way, again, at this point, there are no weeds on this field. If you were to get out, the weed percentage is currently 0 on this field. And once we're done weeding everyone, we'll just go ahead and skip a day and see what we end up with. Just out of curiosity, I just noticed it appears we got some sort of... Oh, is this for road detecting, I wonder? I bet you that's what that is. I'm probably road detecting right there. Okay. That's good. Let's go to the house here. We'll skip a day, everyone, and see what we end up for weeds here. Again, if I had to guess, we're probably not going to have any weeds in this area. This area is, of course, going to have all kinds of weeds. And this one, I'm curious, Evan, is it going to remove 25% of the weeds? Is it going to remove all the weeds? We're going to find out. There we go. And it is light out. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is interesting, Evan. The great equalizer here is to make sure you use your weeder the day you plant, it looks like. So, Evan, over here, 0 weeds. Over here, also 0 weeds. A reminder again, I want to, if we were to run the weeder here on this, this weeder here and all the rest of the in-game weeders with the exception of this one, they would only remove the weeds down to 50%. So we would still have 50% weeds in there, and we can demonstrate that here real quick. Just to confirm that, we don't have some sort of anomaly here and it's removing all the weeds. Again, that one there will. So again, if you look, you can see there's still weeds behind, and it's only removing it down to probably 50%. It might be hard to get a good number on this. Again, when it averages the area around you, so when you look at that percentage point, you almost kind of like do the whole field, and then you get a more accurate number. But trust me, everyone, it's removing it down to 50%. And then, of course, if we use this one, everyone, it should remove all the weeds. So, yep, there we go, everyone. All the weeds are gone. Bye-bye, weeds. Again, everyone, if you're going to buy a weeder here and your crops already started growing, and as long as the weeds are probably still in the first growth stage, you should be able to remove all the weeds with that weeder. Now, that brings up a curious question. I haven't done a little bit of a bonus content here in this video. Let's just see what happens if we skip another day. Can we still remove weeds with that really good weeder? And I put quotes around that. Again, I don't know why Giants has one weeder in the game that just removes weeds so much better than the other ones. Yes, it is a different style weeder. It's more for row crops. So again, your corn and probably sunflowers and soybeans and stuff like that. Anything planted in 30-inch rows or whatever row spacing this is. Probably 30-inch, I would assume. Okay, so yeah, now we got 100% weeds over here, everyone. 100%. I very much doubt this is going to do anything. At least it's not supposed to. I wonder if it's removing anything at all. So yeah, it's definitely not touching the grown weeds, which is actually kind of odd, because if you think about it, this weeder should actually, if you're doing it on row crops, should remove the weeds. Okay, so it was 100%. Nope, still 100%. So, yep, if you skip to the second day, everyone, you're out of luck. You're not removing any weeds. At this point, I'm going to have to spray to remove the weeds, and that should remove all the weeds. So anyway, everyone, hope you folks found that interesting. I definitely did. If you remove, or if you use the weeder right away after planting, it will remove all the weeds. No matter what your field is probably like here. Because again, everyone, this should have been like the worst case scenario here. I did not do any sort of prep work to remove. I did not plow, I didn't cultivate. We just direct seeded. And to my knowledge, that gives you the worst possible weeds. And yeah, well, we've got 100% weeds over here, so that's pretty bad. Anyway, hope you folks found that interesting. If you folks have any comments or questions on this, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next time.